born to a Swedish father and half Thai, half Chinese mom in Sweden. You moved to the UK when you were 7. How did it feel when you moved to a new country?
I felt very disorientated. That was the big word. I'm like, why did we have to go to England? What's happened? Why are we leaving my father behind in Sweden? Will I ever see him again?
Did you speak English when you came to the UK?
No, I spoke just fluent Swedish and Thai, yeah. But my stepdad, who's English, he taught me and my brother how to speak English before we started school.
So you came when you were 7, and then you started school. How quickly?
Well, instantly. In Sweden, we start school at the age of 7. Yeah, primary
Right.
school. Yeah.
Just like in Poland.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you still remember any Swedish?
Jag vet inte. I don't know. I know I can remember some phrases in Swedish, but I'm no longer fluent with it.
Have you managed to keep your Thai language skills?
I've always felt more on the Thai side because of my upbringing. My mum was teaching me about the Thai and Chinese way. Obviously, my father wasn't around, so he couldn't bring me up in the Swedish way. I admit that I do struggle with a native Thai, but like, you know, if I don't understand, then I'll ask them, oh, what does this word mean? But I don't want them. I try to encourage them, even my mum, not to translate it into English. I encourage them to translate into Thai, to more basic Thai word. Yeah.
You are transgender.
Obviously.
So you were I'm not quite sure how obvious it is. You were born as a boy, but inside you felt you were female. Did your family and friends accept you straight away, or was it a longer process?
My friends accepted me, yeah, but those friends that I used to be in touch with, you know, they all moved away and they got their own family and their own life. So we just drifted apart. But I'm glad that, you know, we didn't drift apart because of me being transgender. As for my my Thai family, I just remember one time when I came out to them as trans, and I was so anxious and so scared about what they'd say, and it was fine, but only like 2 people out of a large family weren't cool with it, and then with my neutral family it took about 3 years. So they were dead naming me the whole time. Just so your viewers can understand what dead naming means, it means when you're calling a transgender person's name before the name that they have now. Yeah. And when it comes to different people, like the problem that I get most of the time is being referred to as a man, being referred to as a male. I try to ignore it because that's the only thing. I have to remember that that's not my energy, that's their energy. I'm being naive, you know. And I realise that we're all quite naive, to be honest. Just open up our minds a bit more to each other.
Yeah. It seems that there isn't any research that has been done to tell how many people in the UK identify as transgender. So there are only estimates that about 1% of the population is either trans or non-binary. So that would be about 600,000 people living in the UK as transgender. It's quite a large number, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Mental health is very important, always has been, but I think that right now, especially during the pandemic, we talk about it much more. So considering all that you have been through, I just wonder how you feel when you go out shopping or for a walk.
Well, when I first moved to Bournemouth, Boscombe, because there's a difference. I was getting some harassment, and there's always like the same people doing it now. I get less and less harassment from people around here now, apart from the people who, like, you know, they're jealous of someone who's happy, or like they choose to be naive, or they are dependent on alcohol. In Bournemouth, which is not what I was expecting, like, you get a lot more people like that there. But that seems to be quite common in like every city you go to.
You are a successful musician, so can you tell us more about your projects?
At the moment, I am just a busker, and for those of you who don't know what a busker is, it's a street performer. What I do is I download karaoke videos from YouTube, and I go out and sing those, as well as my own backing tracks of my own songs. And most of them I turn into something called ambient electronica, which is sort of chilled dance music to sing to, because I'm a big fan of Portishead and Massive Attack, Groove Armada, those sort of artists.
The World of Love is a campaign to bring people together, regardless of the differences between us. So we know that we can differ on so many levels. Our skin color, the culture we come from, the language we speak, the accent, our sexual orientation or gender identity, and your background is diverse. You are transgender, you are an artist. So just looking at you today, I can see a woman that has overcome lots and lots of barriers to be who she is today.
Yes.
How does it feel?
It feels great, thank you.
It's taken a long time.
Yeah, and I'm also blessed by the cosmos. I know that I'm being watched over by spirit, and to know that, I'm just like, it just makes life a lot easier for us when we know that someone's watching over us, you know.
I was wondering whether you still have any connections with Thailand. The World of Love is also, in fact, we started with languages, with the love for languages, so it keeps coming back. I'm
very fortunate that I can still communicate in Thai every day, even though I don't use it every day. So it's like riding a bike when you've picked up a language. Like, you think you might have lost it, but when you need it again, you just click on your mind, you know. Maybe that will happen to me with Swedish someday, who knows.
Do you keep any Thai traditions or customs?
The Thai values. My elders taught me to be respectful to my seniors, not to point my feet at anyone. Sometimes I would, like, say if I want to walk past someone who's older than me, or of a higher what do you call it, higher rank, I would like go down like that, but I don't like that, to walk past here.
And what about this pointing feet at someone?
The feet are considered the lowest. Well, it's the lowest part of the body, so they get dirty from walking around.
How should I, when I sit with someone, how should I direct my feet?
Well, you're fine, but in Thailand, of course, like you can't point at someone who's older. Younger is fine, but not older. Another thing is I dare not to touch an older person's head on there or your forehead because I'm younger. So we believe that if you touch someone's head who's older than you, like give them bad luck.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming to us today and telling your story and telling us also about so many interesting things that you do.
I just want to say one more thing to the camera, if that's all right.
Yes.
If you're aiming to go vegan one day, the thing you have to remember about being vegan is that it's not a diet, it's a way of life, and it's for not supporting the cruelty and murder of our brothers and sisters. Go vegan.